Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this Thursday edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the jury of them inside retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte in alleged treason case na High Court don't say e not guilty with all the treason charge them. But Fenam guilty with counts 10 and 11 wey say e go with loaded weapon na public place. The chairman for Staff Welfare Association at the Freetown City Council, Abdulrahman Savage, and other council will command them. Inside one protest, don raise concern say, but 3 months now, council not pay them salary and self-alleged say the mayor her worship Ivona Kisoya not dey work with them. And at the program this morning, we got to talk to the Minister of Environment, Professor Fode Moriba Jawad, where they can talk about in work, plan the way he gets for protect salon environment.
Well, this was other story them dey for you inside the program, plus the meteorology engineer at the Salon Standards Bureau, Abdul Fola say, during one inspection where they do inside Freetown, they found out say the commodity trading companies, CTC the rest, sugar and other things the way they sell not reach the measurement where they can write na the bag them. Members say they listen we live on www.kddemocracy.sl and self inside the program Good Morning Salone. They listen we live from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Koinadugu, Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio Wanjo na Pujon District 101.1. They also listen on Radio Calling 10 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Moa 105.5 na Kailaon District and Voice of Karine 98.0 na Karine District. The program na Good Morning Salone. Send your message or comments to the number 077 981 981. As we tell you inside the program earlier, we get to Minister of Environment, Professor Fode Moriba Jawad, we can tell you but in work we don't do and in plan also for improve the environment. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, listeners. Thank you very much for having me here.
Okay, continue for the to inside the program. We'll come back to you.
The first issue we look at na the program this Thursday morning. Now, outside the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Honorable Fode Radoyoki, say the ministry through the National Mineral Agency (NMA) don't do one survey for know the kind mineral them where the country gets, where it say go bring more investment and boost the country economy. This survey is say the expert there don't begin for interpret them now, and it say by August they go down do the final interpretation for know the kind mineral them where the country gets. Honorable Fode Radoyoki talk more inside this interview to Wani Gauja.
Well, today in January, you been see them plane and they fly. Then they do some survey. That survey they don't done. So we give a contractor survey, geophysical survey for me you know whose kind minimal we get na Sierra Leone. So them they fly very low. They don't take the data there. They don't done with that day. The next stage now be for interpret waiting them plane them fly and get. They don't begin for interpreter. So now that data today, then they don't give it. But we get the regulatory arm of the ministry, whether the NMA, that then charged with that responsibility. So me as minister today, I don't receive that DHL, the package, na encrypted document, na data there, but na then supposed for handler. So now today we can witness that we don't officially hand that over to them, and that plane that will be the fly. The people of Sierra Leone don't begin to see the dividend.
Okay. So what's in them gather?
That encrypted document, we don't know it waiting the inside.
So outside them they go?
The whole country, they fly all over. So that data, because they want the one who been get before. Now way back in the 1950s, they been do and where the British they been can do that they be don't owe. So you will be they see any businessman where one can mine a salon now. Now they can with geologists there, and then they can do their own survey. In some cases, we as government will not get any idea. Waiting the businessman can't tell me, now would they believe. But this trip now we say, no, law will do your own survey, law get her. Will not they say you businessman don't do your own survey, but when you do your own survey, they can't match up with your own survey. So now we own data that day.
Okay, so one go on for know the importance of this to the mining sector.
Now knowledge. Okay, you say for the interview me so now about knowledge. If you not been get knowledge about the journalism, you not going to ask pertinent questions. So we say we don't get knowledge of what we will get, maybe sister, it will help we now for A, attract good investment, B, it will attract we for negotiate better contract now because we step now will know what we will get.
So this like an improvement to the mining sector.
big improvement. Like I say, something they don't do from 1958, they not born me and you. They will they can now. As we done this time also, that old data will be get with them British man they don't hold it will pull on our system, we get recent data now. And at that now go attract investors because when then they come to you, then therefore can face waste their time for can't spend money, do geology. Sometimes they will can invest 2-3 years, they not see nothing. Now losses to them. These days nobody know one losses. But now we the tell you we'll get this kind of data. Now I make back not to free. Then the NMA therefore put on a particular website where now people then go to pay something for accessor. Where accessor now you do your own interpretation for yourself. If you feel say it better for you, then you can now
so after everything, anybody can get access to the data also?
Yes, one different phases. Like me own as politician, me care for me people and the revenue generation part. Now they talk about investors then for come mine and the mineral sector. But you as an academic, you want to know the type of mineral that way you can do research. Yeah, like water resources. You want to know the water catchment there. You can use that information back for do some lot of academic work.
Okay, so going forward, how are we able for regulate this particular data?
No, the regulations is going to be there. We now they provide oversight for the NMA. The NMA now then they do the regulations. Now then charge with that responsibility. But we and then they work hand in glove.
Alright, well, that's the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Honorable Foderado Yoki. They talk on that interview there with Wani Gauja for sake of survey where say they don't do for no decide them. The kind mineral them where the country gets and no side and the program you still listen to now Good Morning Salone where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we tell you earlier in the program, today we get in the studio with the Minister of Environment, Professor Fode Moriba Jawad, where they can tell we about plan them where he gets for protect Salone environment and save the work where they do na the ministry. If people can remember, inside November 2019, na the second cabinet reshuffle where the president's been do, na that same day we been see it creates the Ministry of Environment, where we bring come so many concerns from the public as to why the president being decide for get a whole ministry for look at the environment, even though we get the Environment Protection Agency and other body them where people been they suggest they be go able for do the work of the Ministry of Environment where the president been create. Well, now the studio this morning I once more for welcome Professor Moriba Jawad. We like now the minister na this ministry now, and before they take up the position as minister na the ministry, ina be executive chairman for the Environment Protection Agency. USA is served for 1 year 5 months. Good morning again and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Right, as I don't tell listeners them small thing about the president setting up the Ministry of Environment where we see in November 2019. Take me through the responsibilities them first of this ministry.
Good morning, listeners. I'm happy for there this morning. Let me start first by thanking the president for creating a new Ministry of the Environment. And we all know say environmental issues are not very topical issues these days. So the creation of the ministry is a blessing for we, and I want to take this opportunity again for thank the president for his wisdom. Now the president creates this ministry for very simple reason. We all know what they happen now with environment today. We all see the sporadic rainfall, we see the flooding, we see the bushfires, we see sea rise, we see massive deforestation. The Environment Protection Agency will be the head, now be a regulatory agency, but will not be get absolute power, for example, for the cabinet, for President Kirsten. Anytime environmental issues come up, somebody else now get for presenter, because we'll be there under the office of the president. So the president created this ministry for two main reasons. One, now we as ministry, they advise the government on all environmental issues in the country. Number two, now we they help for formulate and facilitate the implementation of all environmental policies and programs for the sustainable environmental management in the world and in this country. So these are the two main reasons here. So it created this ministry And I feel say na the right thing he do, because it not only end there, he appoint me humble self as a minister, where me na a seasoned environmentalist, me deputy as well, don't serve na the environment for the past 30 years. Then my successor na EPA is also another environmentalist. So the environmental issue in this country, I assure una say we will able to tackle them.
You talk about one major thing as to the reason behind the establishment of a Ministry of Environment, where you say the EPO say you been there formally, we be done the work on environment issues, not been get representation in a cabinet for channel certain concerns them where they come up, we get for do with the environment. But this environment issue, now one way, although you say they're not be the gonna cabinet, but we also get a whole department of under the Ministry of Lands in the environment. So how the representation not be they happen where we all the ministry again also environment factor.
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. Let me go back to memory lane. The Environment Division was created in 1996, and then it was under the Ministry of Transport and Communications. Shortly after, they moved of Agriculture and Forestry. Then later, it ended up under the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Environment. In all those cases, environment now be the last thing with the ministries that they talk about. They not be pay attention to the Environment Department. In fact, it be there under the Office of the President. So when I take over, I continue that. But I just want to stress say, now the President create a whole ministry for deal with environmental issues. I feel so for tell the President, thanks for that. So again, when the President creates the ministry, it not only end there, it also creates a forum, a platform for we follow operate. What did it do? All agencies or departments that they deal with the environmental issues, it advise say they all for the under the ministry. For example, Environment Protection Agency, National Protected Area Authority and Conservation Trust, Forestry, Wildlife, Meteorology, and Nuclear Safety and Radiation. All the one day, they be don't put them under the Ministry of the Environment, and it has been gazetted. I think the gazette come out 24th April this year. Now, why it do that day? Because just like if meteorology not under the ministry, first time meteorology their main thing now just on aviation. But we all know say meteorological agency go do better. They go able to advise farmers there on when they for plants because they study the climate. They go able to advise fishermen the way they're gonna see. All these are environmental issues. So a place are underway. But we also for realize say their agencies they all be there under their respective ministries. So they don't just can directly under the Ministry of Environment. There has to be legal connotation to that. So in that regard, we as a ministry decide say we they go on a consultative meeting now the provinces, and I think so when I be send some representatives then from AYV or 98.1, then go with we want consult the people then. These are not the days where they make law in Africa, you just go put up at the people in the provinces. We engage them, say this is what we want to do, and if you give me small time, I can able to tell you why make we do that. Why make then agencies and the acts that we need for change there. There are three main reasons there. One, as I rightly say, they're all for the under the Ministry of Environment, but we need to change the act. Because, for example, the Forestry Act say forestry is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. That has to change. Number two, environmental issues are very dynamic. They change, they evolve day by day. For example, if you go EPA, in the 2008, 2010, there was no climate change. Now there's climate change. So we need to change that act for bringing new things in where they emerging issues there. Then number three, you go to the wildlife. The last time the Wildlife Act was changed was 1972. In that Wildlife Act, they get fined there with a 1 lion, 5 lions. For example, if you go to a forest reserve, you kill an antelope or you kill a chimpanzee, then they charge you 1 lion.
So, Mr. Minister, looking at, before we go to the consultation one I don't do, then different agency you mentioned, forestry, wildlife, conservative, you earlier said they already be the under other ministry them, but already they also get a work plan and regulation with them don't you work according to how you be able to get them different representative of the institution on board for letting things say there is a coordination we needed for the among you and them.
Thank you very much. As I say, the Ministry of the Environment is blessed, and this country is blessed, because we were the man the affairs, we not to apprentice them. We are all professionals, we are all very good in our areas. So when we take office, straight away, once that gazette been common, we engage the various ministries there. Let us see on our work plan. I develop an organogram, we include them all, and we work with them. As I say, environmental issues, not one man, we all get for put hands together. So you find out say when we go on this tour, they were all there, they were all represented.
So apart from the issue we don't talk of reviewing the acts of then different agencies, YASO, and self-representing environmental issues them na cabinet, as you say, now one part the the women could get the Ministry of Environment, waiting different the Ministry of Environment to do, we not get for do it, the work where EPA, NPAA, and the other one then they be done they do for themselves.
Another great question. Now I don't talk environmentalist. Thank you very much for that question. In the first place, the environment now the policy wing, now they advise the government. All the other agencies and are regulatory agencies. That's the difference. Number two, at EPA, I be they attend international meetings. Funding meetings be they take place where the executive chairman not be invited because like political decision. Now, because of the COVID, all they are. But once COVID over, I go per meetings.